Yeah, recording started. So in last session, we discussed about the API-led architecture. Then we discussed about the YAML file. We discussed about the REST API. Okay, and today we will continue on top of those basic question. Okay, so initial 2-3 session we will go through very basic question, which will be very frequent also. Okay, in many interview they will ask this, and this kind of question will be very frequent. Okay. So in last session we discussed about the REST API, but sometime few people will ask, few company will ask about the SOAP API also. Okay, SOAP API you can say nowadays it's very out of date technology. You can say very less organization are using SOAP API. At the same time, there are few organizations where they have some existing SOAP API. Okay, so they haven't migrated in other technology or REST API. So still they are using SOAP API. And if you have such kind of integration, then you need this SOAP API concept also. You should have the knowledge, and definitely you should have if you are working on this integration part. Many places you have to use. It will not be very frequent, but possibility will be there. Okay, so coming to SOAP API. So first, let me explain what is SOAP API, and then I will tell you how it differ from the REST API. So these two questions will come. What is SOAP API and difference between REST and SOAP API? This is, you can say, very trending question. Out of 10 interview, you can expect 4 interview, you will get this question. Okay. So first of all, SOAP API. In SOAP API, whenever we develop any API based on the SOAP protocol, okay, how we have HTTP and HTTPS protocol, same way SOAP protocol is there, which is again on top of HTTP and HTTPS only. Okay, their base protocol is HTTP and HTTPS, but on top of that, this SOAP protocol is there. Okay, so if we are developing any API by following this SOAP protocol, then that is SOAP API. Okay.
Have you shared screen?
No need to share screen. Okay. Now in SOAP API, like you can understand in this way. I long back I explained one example. Okay, there are two kind of things. One is rule, that is government rule. Another one is for our better understanding, we create some additional rule. Okay, let's say society rule. Okay, so if you are not following this government rule, then you will get penalty or whatever. Okay, but if you are not following society rule, means you can say that rule is among you people to make your society better. Okay, same thing happen in REST API and SOAP API also. In SOAP API, if you will not follow the SOAP protocol, then your API will fail technically. But in REST API, whatever REST you can say principles are there, if you will not follow, still technically your API will work. Okay, so that's why SOAP API is, yeah, whenever you are developing SOAP API, you must need to follow the SOAP protocol rule. Otherwise, your API will not work technically also. Okay, so let me define it again. So if you are developing any API following the SOAP protocol, that is SOAP API, and whatever rules are there in SOAP API, SOAP protocol, you must need to follow. Okay, so what all rules are there? So first rule is there. SOAP API support only XML format of data. If you want to consume any SOAP API, you must need to convert that data into XML format. Then only you will able to consume that SOAP API. Okay, so first rule is there. Second rule, you must need to create a visual file. For REST API, you can create API without YAML file, with YAML file. But in SOAP API, you don't have this flexibility. You must need to create visual file, which is equivalent of YAML file. Okay, otherwise you will not able to technically your API will not work. Okay. Then in SOAP API, it has their own security framework. Okay. So this you can say in term of advantage, only one advantage SOAP protocol has, it has their own security framework. It don't rely on HTTP security framework. But if you are on REST API, you must need to rely on HTTP protocols or security of HTTP protocol. Okay. So SOAP API must need to have digital file. SOAP API must need to follow the rules and principle of the SOAP protocol. It will accept only XML format. Okay. So in this way, you can define the SOAP API. Now, difference wise, okay, many times they will ask, what is difference between REST and SOAP API? So first difference will be whenever we are developing any API following REST architecture principle, then that is REST API. Whenever we are developing any API following SOAP protocol, then it's a SOAP API. REST API support multiple messaging format like XML, JSON, CSV file, okay, text. But SOAP API follow on accept only XML format of message. Performance-wise, REST API gives better throughput, but SOAP API has relatively uh, high throughput. Okay. Then a throughput means how you can say better throughput means your API will respond in shorter time. Okay. Throughput is best calculated based on that, how soon your API will respond. Okay. And then uh, REST API rely on HTTP security framework, but SOAP API has their own security framework. Okay. In REST API, we have some governance which we should follow, but in SOAP API, we have some set of rule we must need to follow. This kind of difference you can mention and highlight. Okay. So next we have already discussed about the YAML file. Now coming to visual file. Okay. Sometime. Okay. It will be very less. Frequency will be very less, but I have seen in some interview they are asking about the visual file structure of the visual file. Okay. So in visual file we have like message how we have in REST APIs YAML file. So in there we have message and then we have services, we have operations, we have protocol. Okay, these are the key components we have in visual file. Okay? So that you need to keep in mind. So these are the elements we have in visual file. Okay. So next question. Coming to SOAP API, we will not do much deep dive, and there will be very less question. One more question you will get in SOAP API, that is last question. How you will expose your how you will expose your API as a SOAP API, and how you will consume your SOAP API in Mulesoft. Okay. So first, whenever you want to expose your API as a SOAP API, okay. So using HTTP listener, when you are selecting the YAML file, you need to select the visual file. Okay. Once you will configure your HTTP listener with visual file, then it will be exposed as a SOAP API. Okay. And to consume any SOAP API from your Mule application, we have two ways. Either you can use SOAP consumer connector. Just give me 1 minute. So one is using HTTP listener, you can call the SOAP API. Okay, but we have one out of box connector, SOAP consume sorry, that connector name. Let me quickly check. That
Can you
is
show me in Anypoint Studio once?
sorry.
Can you show me once in Anypoint Studio? Means,
Okay, today I connected through this mobile only.
oh, okay.
So for SOAP API, we have Web Service Consumer Connector. Okay, one is
This class
using.
is being recorded or not, sir?
Yeah, this is recorded. Okay, so two ways there. One is HTTP listener, and another one is we have out of box connector, that is Web Service Consumer Connector. Okay, so either of the way you can consume any SOAP API. Everyone clear with this?
Means through HTTP listener also we can connect
Yes, yes,
websites.
correct. Yeah,
Yes.
that option also we have. Just now I posted in our group, so you can see which connector I am talking. So another one is Web Service Consumer Connector is there. Okay, so these two connectors are there to consume any SOAP services. Okay, so here whenever you will
Other
select
setup is same only.
other setup, yeah. So in
Okay.
generally
What?
in REST API, what we do, we define the method, correct?
Yes.
In SOAP API, it has operations. Okay, first you
Okay.
need to select the port and then you need to select the operation.
Okay.
Okay, so small difference will be there. Related to that, how to consume any SOAP services, you can find some video on internet like YouTube and all. But yeah, this will be a good topic. Okay, many people need to know. Let me try to create one video today. Okay, I will show you one demo how to consume any SOAP service using this Web Service Consumer Connector. Okay, so till this point, everyone clear related to SOAP services? So four kind of question I explained. What is SOAP API? Difference between REST and SOAP API? How to consume SOAP services? And how to expose SOAP services? Expose means how you will develop your SOAP API. That is exposing SOAP services. Hope everyone clear on all these four questions. Okay. Now coming back to REST API part. So we discussed about the RAML part. Okay. Now next question will be API development lifecycle. So
So we doubt here
yes,
SOAP SOAP only supported XML, right? REST will supported the means
many format XML, JSON, CSV.
means we can when means when we invoke the visitor means we
Yes.
can convert this XML to JSON like that. Means request and response.
See,
Yeah.
two kind of things are there. Okay. Whenever you are developing any SOAP API, okay. Let's say I'm not sure you are from other integration background or what. So let me give you one scenario. What we used to do in case of SOAP API when I was working in Oracle integration. Okay. Let's say we are receiving any JSON format of data. Okay. Then what we need to do whenever we will receive that JSON format of data in SOAP API, first thing you need to do, we need to convert that JSON into XML. Then only we will able to do rest of the processing. Okay. It was mandatory thing. We must need to convert that other format of data into XML format, then only we can do any further processing. Otherwise, we cannot like orchestrate, or we can work on that data. Some scenario we were working on CSV file and all. Okay, so there we need to define one file. Actually, I forgot the name. Actually, I worked 5-6 years back. One accessibility and xquery was there for transformation, but there was something for like
NXST format.
sorry.
NXST format.
Yeah, I think something was there. Yeah, I forgot the exact an accessory file only. Yeah, we need to configure on so service listener part. Okay, so whenever it will receive the message, immediately it will convert that data into XML format, and then within that SOAP API, we will process that data. Yeah, an XSD transformation, correct. So that we must need to do if you have different set of data. But in REST API, whatever format is there, you can process, you can use that format of data. Okay, so coming back to any other question on previous topic?
Like that NXST format in means in any Point Studio also, any component is there.
Any point studio, like when you are developing REST API?
Yes.
Okay, so REST APIs support different messaging format. Let's say you are receiving XML format and you want to process in JSON format. So using DataWeb, you can convert that into from XML to JSON. You don't need this NXSD file and all.
Okay. Direct
Okay.
in the data view, we need to.
Yeah. You just convert the output format and automatically it will be converted into required format.
Okay. And so we need to output application XML, it converted to XML.
Yes.
Yeah, like that.
Okay. So next question will be like API development lifecycle. So here you people need to be very clear. Project development lifecycle and API development lifecycle is different. Okay. There are some common phases are there, but still both are different. In project development lifecycle, many things come in picture. Okay. Like planning, requirement gathering, and then it go for API development lifecycle. But in API development lifecycle, it start from the YAML phase. Okay. So in API development lifecycle, first thing we need to do, we need to create the YAML file. Then we publish on Exchange. Okay, that is nothing but simulate. Okay, and then we go for feedback. Okay, once we receive the positive feedback, then we go for development. Okay, and if that feedback is negative feedback, then we should go for again YAML part. We need to modify the YAML, we need to publish it again, and again we need to go for feedback. Okay, so once you go for development after the positive feedback, then next will be yeah, like after development, you will go for unit testing and unit testing. Okay. So once unit testing and unit testing is done, then you will go for security policy. Okay. So this part also many people used to be confused. Your security policy need to apply first before deployment. Okay. But sometime generally what we do, uh, we do deployment first and then we apply security policy. In that case, you need to deploy it again. And another case, if you are using on some higher environment like production and all, then it's not a secured way. If you deploy your application, then anyone can call it before you will apply security policy. So first thing you need to do, you need to apply security policy and then you need to do deployment. Okay. So after unit
So
testing,
in we followed In
Yes.
our project, we like first deployed the project and then applied.
Yeah, first we need to apply security policy and then we need to deploy. This is standard process. Okay.
No,
Sometime
in
you will
our
see
project, how we did.
in our project, I'm not sure. I think we followed both the in Experience API, we did first security policy and then we deployed.
So if I deploy first and then apply security policy, then what is the procedure to deploy it again? The same way.
You need to configure the auto discovery ID, correct?
Okay.
So first you need to configure the auto discovery ID and then you need to deploy it again. But that is not a standard process. Okay. If you are following anywhere, then yeah, you can move like you should start following this practice. First apply security policy and then deploy.
Okay.
Okay. And once we apply the security policy after deployment, we have some additional process are there, that is monitoring, troubleshooting and all. Okay. So these are the steps we have in our API development life cycle. And this will be again very frequent question, API development. They might ask in different way. They will not ask straightforward like what is API development life cycle. They will ask how you are developing your API in your current project. So again, you need to explain this API development life cycle. So they may ask what is the standard way of API development. There also you need to mention same. Okay. Now coming to error handling part. Okay. So from there also you will get many questions. So first very common question will be difference between on error continue and on error propagate. Anyone want to answer this?
In on error continue, if we get any error, still it response goes as a 200 okay. And in on error, in propagate, it will go like a error, whatever error is there. Means it will go as a failure. And in continue, it goes as a success message.
Okay. Anyone else want to try?
On error continue, we'll catch the error and give a 200 response so that we get a 200 response, whereas the propagate propagates back to the error and we get a 500 code response.
Okay. Yeah. So all answers are correct only. I just want to do a small change here. Okay. So 200, 500 things will come later. Okay. So first thing, on error continue will catch the error. Okay. Generally this error handling component, what it do, whenever mule component will throw any error, those component will catch the error. Okay. And then in case of on error continue, it will send success response. Okay. Once this component will complete the processing, after catching the error, it will send success response. So whatever parent component is there, okay, where our control will return, that component will get success response. But in case of on error propagate, whatever parent caller is there, who is calling this particular mule flow, where we got the error and handled by on error propagate, will get the error response. Okay. So in short, you can say on error continue component will catch the error and it will send success response. On error propagate component will catch the error and it will send error response. Okay. And their default behavior is continue will send 200 response, 200 HTTP status code, and propagate will send 500 HTTP status code. Everyone clear with this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then in this error handling only, they will ask what error handling strategy you are following. Okay. So there are multiple strategy are there, and based on the requirement, we should follow different strategy. Okay. So first we have on error. We have global error handling. Okay, where all this like error handler component on error continue and on error propagate we define inside the global error handler, and where whatever flow or type catch block need those error handler component, they will call that global error handler. That is first strategy. Then second, we have flow level error handling. There we define this error handling component within the flow only. Okay. And then we have component level error handling. So in component level error handling, we do error handling at component level using try catch block. Okay. And then by default, we have default error handler. Okay. That default error handler is inbuilt in Mulesoft. Okay. We don't need to define it explicitly. So if our flow, subflow, wherever this error is coming is not handled by error handling component, then automatically it will go to default error handler. And what is the default behavior of default error handler? It contains on error propagate with empty payload. Like you can say empty on error propagate. If you will define any error handler with empty on error propagate, default error handler will have same behavior. Okay, so let me recap this. We have four kind of strategy. One is global error handler, where we define error handling component inside global error handler file, and we use this wherever we need throughout the application. Second, we have that is flow level error handling, where we do error handling or we define error handling component inside the flow. And then we have component level error handling, where we do handle the error on component level using try catch block. Okay. And then we have default error handling, which is inbuilt and predefined inside the Mule application by Mule compiler or runtime, you can say, which has similar behavior like empty on error propagate. Okay. Then next question, like third question you will get in error handling, that is what is the use of rage error component, or in different way they can ask how you will handle the business error. Okay, they can ask in any way, but what I have seen in interview and all, very rarely they are asking. Okay, mostly they are limited to these two question, and there will be scenario based question. Okay, in error handling, it's very common to have multiple scenario based question. Okay, so you can say if you are getting 5 scenario based question, 1 to 2 question definitely will be this error handling part. Okay. So that scenario based question we will come later. Okay. At this moment, we will focus on technical question. Okay. Straightforward questions and all. So coming to this third question again. So whenever we want to handle any business error, then we use this rage error component. Okay. Or you can say, like if they will ask in different way, then you can say business error. To handle business error, we need a rage error component. Okay. So this will be a third question for this error handling part. Okay. And out of that, there will be few questions like how to define the like what will be type of the error. Okay. So whenever we are defining any error component, we define the type also. Okay, we have seen like in our project also, I selected HTTP connectivity error, HTTP connection timeout, HTTP retry exceeded. So those kind of types are there. It where type is divided into two part. One is prefix, database, DB, HTTP, SFTP, like that prefix will be there. And then next will be description. Okay, like retry, exceeded, query timeout, something like that. And then next will be custom error type. Okay, so whenever we are using rage error, at that time we need to define our own type, and you need to make sure whatever type you are defining, that should not be existing error type. Okay, if HTTP retry exceeded is already there, so you cannot use same type while defining your rage error component. Okay, it must be unique, and again that should be divided into two part. Okay, anyone has any query in this error handling part?
Here, custom error means
As I mentioned,
yeah.
if you have any business error, okay, so you need to define your own error, that is custom error. Okay, so how you will do this? Using rage error component. So when you will drag and drop the rage error component, there it will ask you type and description. Okay, so for your custom error, you need to define the type, and that should be in two part. That will be prefix and description. Okay. Fine then. So we are good with this error handling part. If anyone has any query, you can ask.
Ravi, when you go for on error continue, when you go for on error propagate in real time exactly.
Yeah. So practically, if you will say on error continue, you will use very less. Okay, in project and all. I have experienced like 99% places we are using this on error propagate only. Or not 99, you can say 95. Okay. So 95%, like I have worked on, like recently I worked on two projects. Okay. So in one project, you can say we are not using at all this on error continue, but in another project we had. Okay. Since in another project, we were mostly working on scheduler API, and we had requirement in this scheduler API. Let's say we are processing 1,000 record. If any particular record will fail, just track it, but keep continue for the rest of the record. Okay. So those kind of scenario, we need to use this on error continue. Okay. Since we don't want to stop the processing for rest of the record. So what we were doing, we were doing this each record processing we were doing inside the try catch block, and inside the error handler of the try block. Okay, we used to use on error continue. So if there will be any failure for that particular record at any place throughout the processing, then it will go to try block error handler, which will contain on error continue. Okay, so what will happen? That try block will be treated as successful, and for that particular record, it will not able to complete the processing due to that failure, but it will go for next record processing. And we are doing this processing inside a loop. Okay, the try block is also inside a loop. So if one record will fail in that loop inside the try block, it will go to error handler of the try block. Okay, and just take time right now, 1 minute. Okay, let me explain this through Studio. Let me share my laptop. Just give me 1 minute. Then you people will get more clear understanding and you can put for long time in your mind. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, one more quick update. Okay, now onwards, all the my training related content I'm moving to other YouTube channel. Okay, so this YouTube channel, I want to keep only for non-training purpose. Okay, and this new YouTube channel, you will get all the training related contents. Okay, and this interview part also I'm going to move in this particular YouTube channel. Okay, so you people can subscribe and you can keep getting all the updates. And here, I keep adding few more things which will help you in future. Fine. So this part is fine. Now let's go to studio quickly. So I was discussing about this scenario. So first thing we will have for loop. Yeah. And inside for loop, let's say you are running for each record. So here you are getting 100 record and you need to process, your scheduler started and for that particular scheduled time, you are calling some system to get the record. Okay, and you got 100 record. Now each record will process inside this for loop. So what you will do, you can use the try block here. Okay, and then let's say we have a few components here, like to achieve your business logic in the scheduler API, you have few components here. Okay, if any of the component will fail, it will go to error handler. Okay, and inside error handler, what you will do, you will use the on error continue. Okay, and what will happen if there is any error, it will go to error handler, on error continue. And what will be response of this on error continue? That is success response. So this try block will be treated as success. Okay, so that particular record will fail to process, but for loop will not stop. Okay, so it will go for next record. So this kind of scenario we use on error continue. A part of that on practical side on or real time side, I haven't seen much use of this on error continue. Yeah, everyone clear with this?
So if there, what kind of error handling we have used throughout our project, we can say we have used on a propagate.
Sorry, tell me again.
If they ask me what error handling you have used, so we can say we have used on error propagate error handling.
No, why you will say you know both? Okay,
No,
that is,
in our project, what you use.
yeah, you used both. Okay, but
But you are
I'm
saying that
saying
continuously we are not using.
I'm saying you current business scenario, like what is happening in market. Okay, this is less used, but that doesn't mean it never used.
Okay.
So you should tell them you first of all they will not ask this question. What kind of error component you are using? Okay, so it's very common thing. These two components are there which we are using in project, and you know both the component or not. Okay, and then they will ask next question. I'm saying you practical scenario. This on error continue is less used, and only few scenario we have where we really need this. Otherwise, most of the places we use on error propagate only.
Like we can use on air continue with try scope, like if we are using the scatter gather scope, and then we don't want the other processors to stop with the error, so we just use with that kind of scenarios, I guess. If we don't want the whole processor to stop processing, I think that's what he was trying to ask you, why we use a error continue.
Yeah, so that I explain you know some scenario still there is a error, but we want to continue the process. So we are using this on error continue component. For this particular scenario, there are 100 records. I want to process those 100 record, but if any record will stop or fail processing due to some reason in this part, then I don't want to stop processing for remaining records. Okay. In that case, what we will use? We will use on error continue component. Is it clear? Is it clear or still you have doubt?
Me, I'm good.
Yeah. Okay.
I thought I was gonna uh, give him why he want to use the on-air continuous scope. I was trying to tell him when do we use it on-air continue.
Okay, so we are good on this part. Okay, and we already discussed the range error component also. And as I mentioned, if you want to create any business error, then we use this. Here we define the type and description. So type, you need to make sure you are not using any type which is already used by any other mule component for error part, like HTTP is there, HTTP. So this prefix is already used by earlier. So we should not use this prefix. Okay, HTTP. DB is already in use. So you should not use this prefix also. So how you will use prefix? So you can create your own, like uh, something, let's say your organization is Bank of America or something like, okay. Or you can say like this custom error. Then you can define here. Here you can give description. Like that. So if this error will come, then when you will use syntax error dot error type, you will get this. And when you will use error dot error description, you will get this. Using range error component, we can handle the business error. So we are good for today. If anyone has any query on the today discussion, then you can ask. Otherwise, we can end this session.
Ravi, any particular naming standard for that customer understanding?
No, only it has two part. It should follow two part. Okay, one is prefix and then error type. Okay, you can say. And there is no standard, you can say. So this should be organization specific. So I will suggest to use something like this kind of, so you will come to know, anyone will come to know this is custom error you created.
Okay. And if any naming standard documents for the project and properties, how to define exactly like that? If you have any documents, please share.
Oh, acha. Document wise, let me see. I had one document long back. I'm not sure. It's stored this. Yes, I had one document for the API governance. Okay, which contains everything.
Yeah. So we can follow same thing in our project.
Yeah, okay. I will try to find and we'll see.
Ravi, can you share the PDF document, like what all questions you're asking now? Will be helpful.
See, I haven't documented it. Okay, so based on like people connecting with me. So those questions are coming in my mind only at this moment. Okay, I have few documents which we will discuss after 2-3 class. Okay, but I don't have any document. Like you people can spend some time, maybe like when you are going through this recording, just capture it in some document.
Ravi, I have a quick question about the real-time project assignment. I mean, I was trying to do the claim permission, but the VOIC something is not in the database system. You go with the customer number or
There
it says
should
a unique
be.
identifier. So
Okay.
I mean, in the payload there is a customer number or member number, something like that. Can we use that as the identifier?
Policy that is related to policy, correct? So
It's okay.
that
No,
claim, that say
that,
claim should be based on the policy or should be claim number. So you need
no,
to
no,
use
yeah, the
that.
policy number yes, I know the policy number is based on the policy number, the claim history. But there is another one, permissions, claim permissions.
Okay. Claim
Uh,
permission again should be based on policy number. So if
okay,
that
that's what I
policy
just
number,
wanted.
yeah,
Okay,
if that is not there, then just add one column in database.
I got you. There is, yeah, there's column.
Yeah, since you can practically you can think. So if you are going to make a claim and you want to check, so claim permission, what it will do? It will check the eligibility. You are eligible to make that claim or
Yes,
not.
yes,
Okay. So it depends on what kind of policy you have taken.
yeah. So do we go with the policy number or we go with the member number?
It should be
Uh,
policy number. One
okay,
member
so
can, yeah,
so we use for claim history and then for permission the same uh identifier.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, fine then. Thanks everyone. Okay, so this particular, as I mentioned, like this video will move to new YouTube channel. Okay, so you people can join this one. So you will keep getting all the update and access also you will get here only. So I will give you access for those videos. Okay, and one more thing, like those video you will get inside this playlist. Okay. Go to
Like for interview only we will get here, or from now onwards, whatever 1 or 2 class pending for project also will come here.
project part. We are done. Okay, now we will not have any recording. Okay, so project part now we have only assignment. Okay, 1 day recording will be there. That I think will update there only. But yeah, you this interview related you will get here. And if you people have free time and you want to start learning your interview part, then you can go to playlist. And here I have some video. Around 30-40 video will be there, yeah, in this playlist. Okay. Around 30-40 video are there already. So you people can go through this and you can, if you have free time, then you can get more experience from here. So the question we will discuss again and you will get a better explanation this time. But still, you people have time and you start giving the interview, you can follow this channel. Okay.
And tomorrow we will have class.
Tomorrow, Saturday, no, tomorrow, okay. If you people have any doubt on the assignment part, let me know. I will arrange one doubt session tomorrow. And if no doubt session, like no doubt is there, then we will not have any class.
And then interview classes will be like 3 classes will be in a week, right?
Yes, correct.
Monday.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Okay.
Can you share the recordings, like assignment and all?
Time we discuss in our class only, correct?
I actually missed
Yes,
that
for
class.
that all.
Sorry, I didn't get. Ask your question again.
Actually, I missed the class. Can you share the recording once?
Okay, recording is not shared yet. Let me check and let me share. Yeah.
Ravi, even I missed the class as well. So
Okay, let me share the recording. And I think one person in our class has worked on the assignment. I think it's YB. What is your name, full name? Actually, you are using short names and I forgot your full name.
Jonathan.
Jonathan?
Like,
Okay.
yes, Jonathan.
Okay. You have completed this payment, payment history API, sorry, claim history API.
Except the permission part. And then I didn't deploy it because I'm trying to finish everything and deploy everything, but I deployed the system and then I can access it from the endpoint. I mean, it's functioning.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to see it, you can see it.
Okay. No, what I want actually, you already developed. So these people want to start. Okay. So maybe you can give them a high level overview tomorrow. Okay. I will be also be there. And then let's help these
I
people.
mean,
And this will. This will help
First,
you
but you
also.
have to approve it first. I mean, I want you
Yeah,
to
yeah,
look
yeah.
at it. Yeah.
Okay, maybe you can share your screen now.
Okay.
Anyone else has started the assignment? Yeah. So this is first thing. Okay, if you
You
people
want to go
will
on
not
studio or you want to go on studio or on the Ramya?
RML part, maybe you can, or studio is fine. Anything is fine wherever you have. So in,
Can you see?
yes, yes, I can.
And access control if you
Okay.
want to.
So on a high level, meanwhile, I am explaining high level. So claim history, what this will do. So when you are doing submit claim in your previous flow, what we developed, we were doing claim submit. Okay. So once you will complete the claim submit, then this claim history API will help you to fetch all those claim you did or that particular customer did for that particular policy. Okay. So this API, what it will do, it will call the database. In previous API, we were storing data into database. In this API will call the database and will retrieve details from the uh, that retrieves detail from the same table. Okay, based on the policy number.
So we
Okay.
need to hit it. We need to hit this, or like by the time we will finish the claim process, it will automatically hit it
No,
and
no,
it will
we need
show.
to hit it. No? Let's say, think about the front end application point of view. Let me stop recording first.
Just be it not a recording.
This session is about the interview preparation and okay.